Thank you, Danielle. You are correct. In the last few years, our family has been part of cutting-edge science. Today, there are over 1,900 known strands of DNA that cause cystic fibrosis. Each CF patient inherits one CF mutation from each parent. The first oral medication aimed at correcting CF at the genetic level was created for patients with a G551D mutation. This happened to be one of the mutations my daughter Capri has. So when she was 6, we made the decision to enroll Capri in a drug trial that would test his revolutionary control for CF. If successful, the medication had the potential to add decades to the lives of cystic fibrosis patients. This medication gave us our first taste of hope that our own child could live a full adult life. Today, 2 years later, the journey to participate in this science has taken us many places. I have been blessed to see the beautiful work of the foundation from top to bottom. Our family has moved to Tennessee for a year and a half and back for the drug study. We've been privileged to have a private meeting with Aubrey McClendon to thank him and Chesapeake for their investment and support of this cause. In all of this, we have become good friends with the leadership of the CF Foundation. And just last week, our participation in the drug trial caused the Wall Street Journal to take an interest in our family, and especially Capri. Needless to say, there have been great moments of joy over the last few years. But to be honest with you, tonight, this moment that I stand before you is the most meaningful to me. It is the moment that I get to pass along the best news of all. There is hope. As I look back to when Capri was diagnosed with CF, I remember asking God why. Why Capri? I realize He has been lovingly answering that question in many ways over the last 8 years. I consider it one of the biggest blessings to see how much our human souls can learn through times of trial. I have seen the way suffering can bring people together for a common cause. You see, at first I was committed to this foundation to raise money to save the life of my very own child. It did not take long for me to want to fight for each and every person touched in the past, present, and that will be touched in the future by CF. 2 years ago, an email was sent out about the success VX770 had during the first stages of research. In reading that message, I sent an email to the president of the CF Foundation telling him of my own hope that was sparked by this news. The only words I could find to describe my feelings at the time, that in holding the email, I felt like I was holding the golden ticket to my child's future. Just like Charlie and Willy Wonka's story, I felt like the impossible had become possible. Dr. Bell responded with, "Nicole, you have made my day, week, month. To think that we have a 6-year-old taking an oral drug in phase 3 trial is what we have been working on for decades. Thanks for sharing this great news with us." Today, more than ever, this research sparks hope in the lives of all those that suffer with CF. This year has been the golden ticket year for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and for Capri. Her golden ticket came in the form of this little blue pill. Since joining the drug study 18 months ago, she's gained 24 pounds and 10% lung function. Weight gain. As you saw in that video, she was tiny. She was failure to thrive as an infant, and weight gain is very hard for cystic fibrosis patients. So for her to gain 24 pounds, I'm telling you guys, it is truly a miracle. And it is a miracle provided by each and every person that gives in any way to this foundation. Capri remains on the pill in an extended trial. We fly back and forth to Tennessee for her study visits. and she's doing the best she's ever done. So my answer to the million-dollar question in this room tonight, does VX770 really work? Yes, it does, and Capri is living proof. The little twinkles of gold around the room tonight are the symbols of the power each of you have to place a golden ticket of life in the hands of all CF patients. Thank you for being part of a history-making moment in CF science that is unmeasurable, incomparable, and unforgettable. Many here in the room tonight are families of CF patients who have passed away from this disease. I want to thank you for your commitment to this cause. If it were not for you, my daughter would not be where she is today. I want to take a moment to honor the memory of those that have passed. And for those that continue to battle CF. Now I ask how many of you are here because a coworker or family member asked you if you would like to attend a cystic fibrosis gala. I want to thank you for coming. For many CF patients and families, including me, it is very hard to reach out to those we know and ask for your support. We may ask you quietly with our voices to donate to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, attend the gala, or support our team in the Great Strides Walk. But in our hearts, we are screaming, please, please help save the life of my child. As a CF parent, I can only imagine my suffering is nothing compared to the suffering my child endures. This became very evident in one of the most precious moments I have shared with my daughter. A lot of our family's fight has been so public, and there are things that I cherish and do keep between my daughter and I. So I struggled whether to share this with you tonight. Then I realized, this is a moment many CF patients experience it, and by sharing it, you might get a glimpse of why you were asked to come. As Capri and I sat by Lake Hefner one evening, she let down her guard and shared her heart with me. You see, my daughter is such a fighter, as all CF patients are, and she possesses such strength. For a moment, she allowed me into her world to see that fighting is sometimes very lonely and that she has a lot of fear about her future. That night, as I truly saw the fear Capri feels, she shared with me these words. I know that heaven is better than here, and I'm not scared to die, but Mommy, I don't want to suffer. These are words from the mouth of an innocent child who should not even know what suffering feels like. Earlier tonight, you got to bid on fun vacations, some pretty cool stuff. But this is a part of the evening where we ask you to bid for a cure for CF. The science is here, right here. The science is here. We have the proof of concept, and we are on the brink of a cure. Your donations to this foundation puts these pills in the hands of all CF patients. As Dr. Bell said, they have worked for decades to find a medication to not just control CF, but to cure it. We are so close to the finish line. Will you join us as we cross it? I promise there are great things you can do with your money, but there's nothing greater than giving the gift of life. Thank you.